everyone, One Big Boss here, and well, I thought I'd take this time to stop playing Resident Evil 6, Marvel Origins, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, DOA 5, because I've been playing a lot of them recently while working a lot. But as you can tell from the title above, this is about what was my favorite cartoons, and pretty much what was your favorite cartoons growing up. Alpha Omega Sin did this video last night, and I decided to do the same thing. He wanted people's response on this, so, I hope he sees it, or like I can link it to him or something. But as for me, I watched a lot of cartoons growing up in my life, drew a lot of cartoons myself growing up like a lot of kids did, but I actually enjoyed the series that I created. But, like most people were obsessed with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, G.I. Joe. My favorite growing up, though, my favorite TV show of all time, my favorite cartoon show of all time, was Beast Wars Transformers. Not a huge fan of the original Transformers like a lot of other people. There is like a massive following for it. Beast Wars Transformers was something different because, as a writer myself, I like a story that is deep character development. Deep with character-driven stuff, Plot-wise, yeah, you gotta have a plot, like I've mentioned in video games before. But yeah, Beast Wars was something totally different, hadn't really been seen before, kind of pushed the envelope on some things, not like too much, but it was a CGI, like computer-generated television show that debuted in the mid-90s or the late 90s, I think maybe like 97 or something. That was like it was following the original Transformers stuff. It was set long after the first Transformers series. Now it was like no longer the Autobots and Decepticons, it was Maximals and Predacons were the descendants. Now this series was known for its dark tones, its well-developed characters, and its story and animation. Cruel by today's standards, which some people say, which I don't believe that for a second, because that animation was brilliant. I mean, you go back, you see like a little computer, like some guy's missing a finger maybe, or the hand's done, like the gun's on the outside of here, but it looks like he's holding it with his hand here. But it's cool to look back at that stuff. Anyway, as I rant on about this amazing series, like I said, terrific directing, terrific animation, terrific writers, and of course the voice actors. Gary Chalk, a lot of people may or may not know him and stuff, but he's a very famous and well-accomplished actor and voice actor in the entertainment. He voices Optimus Primal, who is pretty much the descendant of Optimus Prime, and he just did a phenomenal job as a strong, believable leader of the Maximals. His form was the gorilla, and even like mimicking like the roars and the growling and the primal instincts that they had to do in like one episode. It was interesting, he was a believable leader. He cared for his crew, but he was very stern. He was like about rules, but he was also about like giving peace a chance. It was phenomenal, and I have to thank my friend Candace because she got me Gary Chalk's autograph. She's actually a good friend of his too. She got me his autograph. It's on my wall, and I am so happy to add that to my wall of autographs over here. I'll probably do a video of that one day too. But next up is David Kaye, voice of Megatron. Now, personally, I never heard David Kaye's voice before. I didn't hear his voice before. I know he's probably in things that I watched, but I just didn't recognize it because in Beast Wars, he changes his voice. When he talks like a normal person, you can kind of hear it. But it's really interesting how he created that character. His character was maniacal, he was evil, but he was likable too because he had like this kind of like a gentleman kind of speech. He was very intelligent when he spoke. He was surrounded by idiots. He had many hilarious moments in that show. But David Kaye just did an amazing job at portraying this like evil, like perfect evil being. There was actually something more to him than just like the conquest of like Cybertron. There was more to him than what you find out in the series. And he seems a little bit not as intelligent as in the first season, but as the seasons go on, you see his true motives, see what he can really do, what he had planned all along, even from the beginning. And I got David Kaye's autograph too, again, thanks to Candace, because she's really an amazing person and helping me add to my wall. Some of the other people in the show, like Scott McNeil, he's the great Scott McNeil, I should say. He's pretty much the Samuel L. Jackson of animation. He's in everything. Seriously, he's in everything. American TV shows, video games, Japanese anime for the dubbing. He's in it all. Nice guy. Me and Panda Lady actually met him in MetroCon. this past summer, and what a nice guy. Can't say anything more about him. He was really cool, down to earth, like I'd always heard he was. We were just shooting the shit, just talking to him, you know, and he's just really a nice guy. He started singing "All My Exes Live in Texas" because he knew that Tansy was from Texas and everything, and plus he flew from Texas to Florida, and all of his stuff was still in Texas when he was in Florida at the convention. I felt so bad for the guy. But a couple of my other friends actually met him and hung out with them out in the hotel and stuff, which was pretty cool. You know, he was just hanging out with them, and I went to go hang out with them, but he was already gone by then, unfortunately. But in the show Beast Wars, he did 4 characters: Silverbolt, Dinobot, Rat Trap, and Waspinator. Each character, different voices, phenomenal job doing those voices, and especially with Rat Trap and Dinobot, because they were allies, but they didn't like each other. They didn't trust one another, but they also had like respect for one another. And it's funny because with Scott voicing both those characters and the two of them arguing, he's pretty much arguing with himself. I would have loved to have seen like outtakes of that or something on the like in the sound booth and stuff if they put that on any of the DVDs. Plus, like Alec Willows as was it Tarantulas. Venus Terzo was in it too as Black Arachnia. We also had Ian James Cortlandt as Cheetor, Richard Newman as Rhinox. Just like I said, phenomenal show. The writing, the animation, it was something that you don't see in cartoons a lot, which, you know, I respect everybody who worked on that show for doing that. And then for like a long time, I didn't see a lot of good stuff until I started watching Red vs. Blue, you know, like the character relations and all that stuff, and that show is phenomenal. Longest running web series. It's been going for 10 years now. No, 10 seasons, I apologize. Well, maybe it's probably been over 10 years, actually, as well. 2002, yeah, probably about like 10 years. The guys from Rooster Teeth do an amazing job. But as for actual cartoons, I also watched Street Sharks, Captain N the Game Master, Legend of Zelda, the 3 Sonic series, plus, you know, the 4th one for Sonic X, the Mario series, what are the ones I watch? DuckTales, which is one of my personal favorites. Still draw them all the time. Chip and Dale, draw them once in a while. Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck, probably have to make time to draw him at one point. Yeah, just like tons of good classic cartoon shows, and like the, you know, like shows like Rugrats, which I gotta talk about that one for a second. That was like one of the first cartoons that drew me in as a child. And I always loved drawing and stuff, so I was drawing them. But when you look back at it today as an older adult, you gotta realize the parents in that show were the worst parents in probably television history. They had no idea where their kids were half the time. They'd be trapped. The kids were trapped in a mall. And they saw that they were dolls, only the fact that when those kids, when they brought the kids back home, they realized it was a doll in the car. And they're crawling through, because they left them with a grandfather who always fell asleep. So there's kids crawling under the fence in the neighbor's yard where there's all like evil dogs and stuff, you know, like trying to, like, they could rip them to shreds. Do like top 10 like worst parents of TV of all time, the Rugrats parents would probably be on there. But there was also other shows I liked, like Doug, Real Monsters, Hey Arnold, can't forget one of my personal favorites, The Angry Beavers. I love The Angry Beavers. Nothing bad can be said about that show. It's so ridiculously stupid and brilliantly written and acted that it's amazing. It's that awesome of a show. Even like the inside jokes that they throw in there and threw at the end of the series too. And then like a lot of other people, like late 90s, I got into the anime, which was at the time was Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and then it just took off from there. I was getting into other shows like Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi Universe, Yu Yu Hakusho, Outlaw Star, some of the other ones, like I think I said Cowboy Bebop too. I don't know if I said that one. Then Inuyasha is another big one, and of course Bleach. Love Bleach. But yeah, because like they're all good shows with strong character developments. But yeah, like those were just the shows. Like I said, I watched like a variety of the old school and like the new school stuff for like anime. Don't really watch a lot of new cartoons because a lot of cartoons today just disgust me with how bad they're put together. They seem like mind-numbingly stupid. I know parents who are my age, they're like 25, 26, 27. They won't let their kids watch that stuff because they bring their kids up on the stuff they were grown up on. And that's the thing to do. Because a lot of the shows out there, I'm sorry, like the crap they get on Cartoon Network now, most of it's like mind-numbingly stupid with the stuff I see on there. Like I won't get into a whole debate about it. That'll probably be for like another time for another video. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video about like what my favorite show of all time was. I mean, one of my top ones actually too is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Enough said. Everybody loved the Turtles, and with the new series out right now, I caught the first episode. It was pretty good. I think it's one of those series that's gonna grow on you, kind of deal. That's what it's gonna be. But yeah, no. Rob Paulsen came back for that show, but instead of playing Raphael, he's playing Donatello, and did a phenomenal job as Donatello so far. So, yeah, those were all the shows I like. I'm sure there's plenty more, but, you know, there's time for that maybe later or something. But, like a lot of people, I want to know what your favorite show was. Make a video or, you know, leave comments below. Let me know what your favorite stuff was and why. What attracted you to these shows when you were younger? Leave paragraphs and paragraphs if you want. Like, just click the, because I know the space is limited, but just keep doing it. You know, this is something that's pretty cool. Let me know what you think about the cartoons of yesterday and today, too, because it's a pretty interesting topic. So, if I may borrow Alpha Omega Sin's line to finish this off, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers, game the fuck on. Oh, and watch cartoons, too.